What's the worst piece of financial advice somebody has given you? My father would tell me to maximum my credit card on a new car, and if they asked for payments just say FM. What are they going to do? My father is several levels of debt hell deep that he's trying to get out of now, but he's at least trying. What are they going to do? Send me to jail? But like what really happens? If you don't pay your credit card bill, expect to pay late fees, receive increased interest rates, and incur damages to your credit score. If you continue to miss payments, your card can be frozen. Your debt could be sold to a collection agency and the collector of your debt could sue you and have your wages garnished. Basically they take payments from your wages. IDK what happens if you don't have a job? I declare bankruptcy. You can't just cut our credit cards and expect something to happen. Mitchell. Once you cut up the credit card, you don't have to pay it. Apostrophe. My cousin is not doing so hot. I'm pretty sure there are warrants out for his arrest in several states. I work for a bank. The amount of times I get customers tell me I just got a phone call saying I owe, but I cancelled my card! Exclamation mark. I tell them we never received a notice that they cancelled it. And they say, but I cut it up. Dude, if cutting bills up would solve anything, life would be great. How would the bank even know if you cut it up? Exactly. They seem to think banks, and therefore people that work for them, are robots that know everything. So when I was 24, I was financially struggling. I had a job that worked me a lot of hours, but only paid me $10 an hour. My parents talked me into buying a brand new 2004 four-door Honda Civic. The pre-interest price tag on it was about $25,000. A few weeks after getting it, my hours got regulated, and it took one entire paycheck to make the monthly note on it. I could not afford the insurance on it. I very quickly realized my parents were bad at money. I think that's one of the hard things to swallow when it comes to growing up. Your parents might be shitty with money. I ignored a lot of my parents' financial advice and am so glad I did. They both made decent money, but borrowed against their house, bought cars they didn't need, and paid for other ridiculous things. They basically lived paycheck to paycheck. That an emergency fund wasn't necessary when you can always get a payday loan or use your credit card. He wasn't joking. My cousin's car broke down and he didn't have enough savings to get it fixed. He took out a $600 payday loan. He's still paying it off. Almost 2 years later. How this shit is still legal baffles the duck out of me. $1,000 on a credit card at 19. 99% will take 26 years to pay off if you only pay the minimum payment. That's one reason I see people complaining about student loans. When I first graduated my recommended payment was $110, but the minimum payment was $34. Way too many people pay the minimum payment thinking it'll still lower the balance when it most likely won't. Now they are pissed that after years of paying the minimum payment their loan balance is higher than what they borrowed. This was me for a long time. I could only afford the minimum, like $500 MO. So I paid and was never make a dent for like a solid decade. I'm finally making more money and paying more on them and slowly seeing them decrease. But man is it disheartening to pay so much into them but still owe essentially what you borrowed. 10 years later. Spend it quickly or it'll get stolen. Coming from someone with a history of losing and blowing their money, or not even stolen. Folks who've never had enough to get by comfortably have a little imp on their shoulder telling them to spend it now, or it'll just go to next month's rent, and you won't get to enjoy anything nice with this cash. My mom's saying is spend it before it's gone. OMG. Are you my daughter? Honestly, my ex was like that. So much of our marriage was her thinking that cheapskate husband of mine got paid today, so I need to go spend it before he has a chance to pay the bills or our mortgage with it. Apostrophe. One of my uncles once told me that I never really had to pay my phone bill. He suggested that I simply jump to another carrier and let the first company cut you off. His life has turned out exactly as you'd imagine. What happened? Don't know. He stopped calling. Bahaha. You're more right than you know. Dude declared bankruptcy. Got bailed out by my grandparents. Went broke again. Then people cut him off. when he conned a few family members and friends into some kind of financial scheme that smelled fishy from the next province. Last I heard he was mooching off some old lady in a trailer park in Florida. These stories always end in a trailer park in Florida. My fill when I mention our retirement plan. I never contribute to my retirement account. Money now is always better than money later. I needed to have a conversation with my husband how we would not be supporting his mom and dad in their insane spending when they have no retirement plan and make huge financial mistakes on a weekly basis. Good news is they both make good money. Sounds like someone who was taught ROI once and has misapplied it ever since. Hold on to those French francs. They will be worth a lot someday. I'm not holding my breath. Well, they probably will be eventually. In about 1000 years they may sell for something good at auction if well preserved. You'll be quids in. Only if well preserved and rare. If a bunch of people keep a lot of them well preserved, no one will care about them. Just get another credit card. My friend who hasn't worked in 3 years and is currently just vibing with his new credit cards he somehow got approved. 4. A friend's family taught them to take out as many store cards and credit cards as they could, and as long as the minimum was paid, they'd be able to live a luxurious lifestyle. They were almost $100k in debt when they finally told me, from dozens of cards and interest, then did not want to discuss it further after I offered advice, lawyer, counseling. It's simply how their parents lived. Life on credit far beyond means. I could not live with that stress. It's so normal for some people though. This comment makes me break out in hives. I would never be able to sleep with that kind of stress. The most stress inducing part for me is that they probably feel zero stress about the situation. It's just a number on a screen. A great, paraphrased, quote says stress from loans only applies if you intend to pay it back. Know what's better than winning money on roulette? Doubling down and winning even more. Me to me. And if you lose, just keep doubling your bet. Ding ding ding. Winner. When I got to university and opened a student current account, I received an interest-free overdraft of about $1,200. I wasn't entirely sure of what that meant. My brother informed me so that's like your new zero, and encouraged me to use it to buy a new gaming PC. For the next few years I really wish I hadn't taken that advice. He's never been too amazing with his money, so I should have seen that one coming. Unfortunately we have to learn the hard way sometimes. I maximumed out a credit card once because I was like, damn, this is like never ending free money. Boy did I feel dumb as duck when my card was declined in a McGill Jr. drive-thru. Can you explain the psychology behind this? I know it's really common, but I never understood it. Weren't you nervous about interest? Did you know they charge interest on credit card debt? Many people do not understand the idea of credit or credit cards. They see their parents, who can't afford a thing, swipe a plastic card and they get the thing. It must be like free money, right? The show Malcolm in the Middle has a great example of this when Reyes is kicked out and he seems to degrade once away from his controlling parents, only to find out he put every expense on a credit card and was heavily in debt. Just get it at Rent Center. I had a coworker that got pretty much everything there. It's only $20 a week, and they'll replace it if it breaks. $20 a week for how long? Oh cool. So you're paying more than double for it? Got it. These Beanie Babies are an investment in our future. Edit. Thank you for my first silver! Exclamation mark. My grandmother bought into that. She got a set for each of her granddaughters. Every time she bought one, she bought 3. My sister, my cousin and I, upon her passing, sat in her bedroom with tubs of the things going, one for you, one for you, one for me, one for you, one for you, one for me, apostrophe. I still have mine. I didn't get rid of them. She'll haunt me. Yup, that Beanie Babies were supposed to be our savings. That's why I have all my student debt and my cousin worked 3 jobs to pay for her wedding. My other cousin eloped and joined the Marines for free school. She's the only smart one, I guess. 1976 San Francisco. Keep renting. No one will ever pay $35,000 for a 2-bedroom house and garage with a sweeping view of the East Bay. Added later, I went back to visit the old neighborhood a few years ago. Those $35,000 stucco homes up many flights of steps perched on the top of Potrero Hill were now all gentrified, remodeled, gated, and asking $1M plus, and that was 5 years ago. And now you live on Maui. Don't worry about a career. Armageddon will come before you finish high school. My parents, Jehovah Witnesses, being raised to JW really stunted my social and emotional growth. And them saying shit like college is a waste because you're learning worldly things and the end is coming soon, blah blah blah. Cunts. Going to college will corrupt you. Well, I went and then was disfellowshipped. So I guess they believed they were right. Ended up having a good career, though. Glad I didn't listen. Don't take a raise if it puts you into the next tax bracket, and pay the minimum on your credit card to establish good credit. As others have pointed out, sometimes getting into another bracket or other threshold may affect other benefits such as food stamps and other government/non-governmental assistance. Mileage may vary. I was specifically talking about taxes. People at my work make it sound like working overtime makes your paycheck smaller than it would be without. Not a single time has this actually happened. There's a guy at my old hourly job who did this, but he did it so that he could discourage anyone else to pick up extra and he'd try to get all the ot. We knew what he was trying, lol. He threw a fit if anyone ever got ot, and he didn't that week. Has over 50 and everyone else in their 20s. Don't invest in a 401k. Luckily, I didn't listen. Yup. My husband was told not to because his job doesn't match, but 15 years later it's over 80k, so I don't call that a bad choice at all. Edit. While I love all condemnation of this, please understand that everyone does things differently. I don't care if you make 127k in your 401k every year. You don't have to put down others. We're good. We will be good and have other assets that when liquefied will set us for retirement. Edit. The bottom line is that for some people saving money is hard. This is at least something. Also, I advise anyone to go to a banker, financial planner or financial lawyer for investing advice instead of a Reddit thread. Edit 3. This was not an argument/discussion about retirement products or options. The simple point I was making is that 80k is better than zero. When my mom said that she will hold my money for me as a kid, my grandfather was pretty wealthy and gave us $50 to $100 each birthday. My mom kept it safe for us. I'm pretty sure she used it at least once to pay the light bill when the power got shut off, so at least it went to good use. Never saw a dime of it myself. Put it all on black. Only bad advice half the time. Edit. I know how roulette works, I just felt like only using 6 words. Did this with a friend and came up 0-0. I started walking away not realizing I got half my wager back. Went to dinner. Afterwards we went back and put it on black again and won. So no win, no loss. Rather anticlimactic putting it all on black twice and breaking even. A relative tried to recruit me into Amway. He wound up stuck with a garage full of their products. My mom joined and ended up having to buy their junk continuously. They also promised to pay her. She never saw a dime from them. Awful. Cult-like. Join my MLM and make lots money. No. Anytime I hear this crap from a friend, it's the last time I ever speak to them. So true. I had a best friend try from high school sell me his MLM once. After I had blocked him on social media, I still got phone calls from him. I had to get a restraining order. I think the guy had issues. Spend whatever is in your bank account the day before payday. You obviously don't need it. That's what a savings account is for. Don't make more money. You'll go up a tax bracket and end up paying more taxes, so you'll end up making less overall. Apostrophe. This isn't how taxes work, people. If you go $1 into the next tax bracket, only that $1 is taxed higher. You can't make less money by making more money. I had to tell my boss, who works in payroll, about this. Like, dude, I've lived on my own since I was 17. I bought a car and worked my ass off to pay it off. It needed new tires, so I called my mom to ask her how to go about it. I literally didn't know tires had sizes, for Pete's sake. She told me to just go trade it in for a new car, and I ducking listened to her. I traded a paid off 5-year-old car because it needed new tires. You guys, who size large? Get a bigger mortgage. You can deduct more from your taxes. Yeah, dumbers. And I'll be spending double that amount in interest, so why should I? Any advice to avoid taxes by spending more money or making less is ridiculous. Guy I haven't seen in 3 years also wanted to talk me into starting a business with him because he just got into college for a bachelor's degree in business. Yeah, sure. Let me get my checkbook out in this badly illuminated garage while we're both drunk. Guy also got into MLM and weird self-optimization preachers. My unsolicited advice in those situations: tell them to give you a call tomorrow to discuss it further. Give them a chance to come down from the alcohol and or coke. Hey PSSST. Please subscribe and like.